Hi, today we're doing a makeover on Suzi of Alternative Aging. She has a wonderful, original, quirky, vintage style, so we're doing a makeover to match. We're going to start the makeup with a primer. Linda's applying it, as you can see, with a brush. You can apply it with your fingers if you prefer. And the idea of a primer is that it will smooth the skin, fill in any fine lines or open pores, and it is literally like silk, so it creates this lovely silky finish on the skin, making it a perfect surface onto which to apply the foundation. Next comes foundation. I know quite a lot of older women don't like wearing foundation, but in fact, if you look at the skin tone as we age, it tends to become very much more uneven. So we get blemishes, patches of perhaps age-related problems, age spots, broken veins, things like that. So what we're doing with the foundation is that we're just making the whole thing look more uniform and generally better. The way that Linda is applying it is with a brush, which I always think is preferable to using your fingers, and she's just ensuring that it's fully incorporated into the skin, working from the centre of the face out to the jawline and to the hairline. So you can see the effect of the foundation there has been to give Suzi a lovely, unified, kind of glowing and pretty look. So the next product that we're going to use is an eye primer. This is a creamy formulation and it is designed to cover up any discoloration and help any eye makeup that you put on top to stay put. The way that we're using it on Suzi is as a cream coloured eyeshadow. What Linda's doing now is she's using our Conceal 02. And concealer is great for just making sure that any areas that need a bit of extra help, almost camouflage if you like, get it. And again, applied with a brush. We have a concealer brush 04, which works really well for this. And it's just a question, after you've applied your base, look in the mirror and think, is there anything here that needs some concealer on? We've applied the eye primer to Suzi's eyelids, and now we're using our Golden Mist lid colour, and this is just to give a lovely pop of brightness to the inner third of Suzi's eyelids. So using a small brush, you can see that what Linda is doing here is she's just taking the product from the back of her hand and onto the brush and just smoothing it into that part of the eyelid that needs to have this almost like a highlighting effect, but it's going to look really pretty on Suzi with her lovely brown eyes and make her eyes look bigger. What we're doing now is just creating a bit more drama on Suzi's eyes using a wedge brush and some dark brown cocoa eyeshadow. This is a lovely way to create some thickness in the lash line. So using the same cocoa eye shade that we just used on Suzi's lash line, Linda is using brush 7, and you can see where she's putting it slightly above the socket line and out to the outer corner in a kind of V shape. She's actually done it on the other eye already, so hopefully you can see exactly what kind of shape she's creating there. And just using a clean brush to make sure that everything is really well blended. Whenever you apply eyeshadows, always finish with a clean eyeshadow brush and just take away any sharp edges. So Linda is now grooming Suzi's brows, which look lovely because she's had them tinted. Eyebrows are really important in the face to frame the eyes and also, in fact, give symmetry and proportion to the whole face. And that way Suzi doesn't need any extra colour on her brows because they're beautiful as they are with the tint. So the final touch for the eye makeup is mascara, and Suzi has actually already curled her lashes, which is really helpful if you want your eyes to appear more open and your lashes to look prettier, of course. And just stroking on the mascara to the upper lashes first and then to the lower lashes. I would suggest you always do upper and lower lashes because it looks prettier. So next, some lovely bronzer, and Suzi's colouring is autumn, so a warm toned bronzer is a beautiful way to just really bring the face to life. And you can see the effect of this on Suzi's skin. It's absolutely perfect. It's such a lovely colour on her. Don't be afraid of using bronzer, even at this time of year, autumn going into winter. It really does brighten the face up. And a final touch to the face is some lovely blush. So our cream to powder formulation blush is perfect on Suzi. It's peach cream is the colour. And again, because of her warm tones, this is going to work perfectly. You might think it's a bit overkill to do bronzer and blush, but actually blush is a pinky tone and bronzer is obviously much more of a browny tone. And that pink, especially on an older skin, is just so pretty, as you can see. And a final touch for both the bronzer and the blush is to use a nice big fat brush and just make sure, again, it's really blended well and you haven't got any hard edges. And of course that lovely touch of pink blush just looks so pretty. So a couple of products on the lips, and we're going to start with the primer again. So don't forget, we've got 3 primers, the face prime, the eye primer, now the lip primer. And the idea of the lip primer is that it stops feathering and bleeding of the lipstick out over the edge of your lips. When we get older, we get these little fine lines around our mouths, and unfortunately the colour bleeds into that. So some primer just placed around the edges of the lips. So the final touch is our Foxy Lady lip colour. This is lovely on Suzi because of her warm tones. It's our most vibrant warm tone lip colour. So it's a lovely orangey red. And Linda is applying it with a brush, which is always preferable if you have time. And just stroking the colour on and making sure that you've got enough density of colour to have that sort of wow factor when you've finished. So there we have it. So Suzi's makeover is complete. I hope you agree that those colours work really well on her with her warm colouring, and she looks fantastic.